Hi there and welcome back to Hard Vendetta. Well, we'll be finishing off the Nakatomi Plaza in this part. And this is the point in the game where the difficulty really ramps up. As you'll see in a moment, where we're introduced to one of the best weapons in the game. But first of all, when you enter this section, you might just want to sneak around the corner and take these guys out when they're not looking. Now, to take notice of the background music for a second, I do notice they have this sort of military drumming in the background, which is a nice touch. It sort of reflects the intense situation that we're going through right now, as well as the fact that these enemies are a lot more militaristic than we've seen before. I mean, we fought gangsters, folks, but these guys are proper professionals. And here it is, the high-powered rifle. It pretty much takes the same ammo as the sniper rifles, except it can dish it out at quite a fast rate. And it kills most of these enemies in 1 or 2 hits. You just have to be a bit accurate with it. But that also means you can't stand many of these bullets yourself. And this is where the difficulty comes in, because really, you only have to be exposed for a couple of seconds, and a group of these enemies, armed with these weapons, can take you down fairly quickly. Now, these next set of rooms can be a bit tricky for different reasons. Like you saw me just coming in here, first of all, I sort of stand to the side of the door and take them out one by one as I open it, rather than just storming in. But this room isn't really the difficult one, it's the one right next to it. See, you can't see now, but there are actually like 3 guys with rifles and 2 guys with miniguns. But the game is generous and sort of gives you a sneaky way to kill them. Like you just saw there, I shot down a wire, and then you shoot the fire alarm. And you can see water and electricity don't mix. But you know, I actually really like that aspect. The fact that the game gives you a smart way to kill a group of enemies. Now, this section here is actually one of the worst in the game, because if you can't tell, if you touch the water, you're electrocuted and damaged, and you pretty much die very quickly. And seriously, just doing that sort of platforming is more awkward than most of the gunfights, or it's more difficult than a lot of these gunfights. And something else you might notice is that they're being really sparse on the medkits. So yeah, this level took me quite a few tries to get right. Now, to talk about the design of this level, it's actually really good, although I guess credit goes to the original movie. And what I'm talking about is the fact that it's got an interesting art style. For example, it's not just a bland office building. It's got this Japanese feel to it, and the corridors are also triangular and jagged at points. And yeah, that's a really interesting way of doing an office level. Of course, I say credit goes to the original film because they obviously based the designs off what they saw in there.
Hey Jim, keep your eyes peeled. Copy that.
Now, this room here can be a bit tricky, but my approach is to stay to the side and try and take them out one by one. It's just generally good advice when playing a shooter. Take cover. Behind doors, behind pillars, behind boxes, wherever you can. You know, I do like the design of the office furniture here. Although I can't help thinking it must be really awkward to take meetings on a jagged table, like you see right there. But no, seriously, I do like the design, the sort of reds, and the paintings and the wallpaper. It's a nice design for an office. And of course, this is a useful tip, because in this room, yeah, there's a mercenary, but there's also a useful med kit. And with like 15 health, you can tell I need it. You know, a design choice I do appreciate is the fact that the doors you can walk through are shaded differently from the doors you can't. Stops you from getting lost or confused. So that's an intelligent choice on behalf of the designers there. Although I was a bit curious to see if there wasn't any secrets I'd missed before, so it's worth checking out. Oh no, this point's kind of a dickish move. Yeah, they put a minigun right behind that screen. Now, fortunately, through repeated playthroughs, I managed to get him just as he appears. So, yeah, watch out for that one. And you'll see, as I play through this level, the way I managed to get through it was to essentially memorise where these enemies are going to pop up and get them before they get me. I mean, that's good advice generally in shooters, but at this point, I have to get them before they get me. The game just isn't that forgiving at this point. But you know what, it makes sense. It's the last couple of levels. It's approaching the big finale. Why shouldn't it ramp up the difficulty late on thick, test your manhood, and just generally see what you're made of? Now this section here has like a series of guards, and honestly I thought F it with his stealth approach and started running through shooting them fairly quickly. That, and I'm pretty sure when you shoot one you will hurt them all, so there's no point in trying to be stealthy here. Just move as quick as you can and try and get them before they get you. It's a good old fashioned shootout. So, if you couldn't tell, I am really enjoying using this rifle. It's really fast, really efficient, and because it's so, damaging, you don't even have to worry about getting headshots. Just one or two in the chest, and you've pretty much killed an enemy. And with that, we've reached a checkpoint. Now, the next section is a bit trickier, but, with practice, it didn't give me too much trouble.
Let's do this.
And right off the bat, we get ambushed by an enemy. Now this section has it's fairly okay in terms of difficulty. If you know what you're doing, it shouldn't give you too much trouble. And this is the point where we rescue Lucy. Finally, for the third and final time, we'll be saving her life.
It's too quiet, John. Expect the unexpected.
I do like the decoration of the fountain you see there, as part of the art style. Again, taken from the original movie, and it's appreciated. Now, before I said I did find a use for these C4 bombs, and these are like trigger activated explosives. And what I do is I put one there because I know an enemy will spawn there.
Oh shit!
Dad, be
Lucy!
Oh, hi Lucy, how you doing?
Come on, honey. I'm gonna get you out.
You look a little tied up at the moment. Yeah, now by talking to her, she does explain there is a mercenary with the code to the bomb strapped to her. But if you already know what you're going to do, it's best just getting on with it. They do give you like over a minute, so really the time limit, it's really manageable. It's not really a threat. Now you may have noticed once I left the door, I activated that C4 trigger, which in turn caused an explosion on this balcony. And you can see by using the C4 I managed to kill that guy before I even came close to him. Oh, and you can tell that's the enemy with the code you need to save Lucy. And he is conveniently marked with one of those red armbands.
Not yet, Dad.
Where's Gruber?
So he shouldn't be too hard to find. And that's really the most of this level done. You know, spoilers, there's not going to be a big boss fight, which I would say would be unfortunate, but at this point I would want this difficult level to be over.
Okay, whatever happens up there, I don't want you to put yourself in any danger.
But there will be a plot twist or two, so stay tuned.
Involves me.
You ready to do this?
You lead the way.
Now this next section can be quite tricky,
After you.
because if Lucy dies, it's mission over. But I did find like a certain way of doing this. First of all, as soon as you come out, go to the right, take out these enemies, and then stay around this corner. Because you can't see it clearly, but there are enemies coming from both sides. And Lucy will follow you, so the idea is to lead around this corner out of harm's way. And then I just simply wait here and wait for the ducks to come in the shooting range. Again, the whole imagery of this rooftop is very reminiscent of the first movie. Which is, again, something I appreciate. Oh, and Lucy is actually quite fragile in this level. If she gets like exposed to gunfire for like a couple of seconds, she's dead and it's a mission over. But fortunately you do start just from the lift, so at least the checkpoints are convenient. But let's get on with the story.
Lucy, I want you to stay here. This is between me and Gruber.
Dad, I was trained for this. I'm not your little girl anymore.
Lucy, you're always gonna be my little girl. So just do this for me and stay here.
Okay, but I'll be ready to go.
Hold it right there, McLean. Any closer and I'll blow your daughter to kingdom come.
Well, well, well. If it isn't Piet Gruber in the flesh. So this is it, Gruber. Go ahead. Take your shot. I'm the one you want. You got a score to settle? Settle it now.
McLean, this was never about revenge. My father barely said 2 words to me my entire childhood. You did me a favor by killing him. This is about money, McLean. The money which you will now get for me.
You and I both know I can't do that. Face it, you've come to the end of the line, Gruber. It's over.
I warned you, McLean. Now you'll pay with your daughter's life. No, 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 die. Why don't you just die? Ah! Frontier, you goddamn coward. Come back here and help me.
Nothing personal, Gruber, but you had it coming.
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
That's my girl.
Thanks, McLean. You saved me a lot of aggravation. Sorry to leave you high and dry, but I've got a premiere to catch.
This is was a bad idea, John. Whoa! It's a really bad idea!
Chief, it's Lucy. Gruber's dead, and his men have been taken out.
Roger that. Man, you two made a mess. Get back down here. I want to meet you and John in 5 minutes.
That could be a little tricky.
What a twist. It turns out the final boss won't be Gruber, but the henchman Frontier. Please join me again in the next part, and we'll see where this goes.
Dad, I was trained for this.
Lucy!